today I actually wanted to start off by going over one of the better All-Star weekends in our recent memory. What was that for you, and what thoughts did you have on that?
Hands down, the 2016 All-Star Weekend. What a time to be alive.
And what a time to be alive.
Especially as an NBA fan. Kobe announcing his retirement, 73-9 season, a unanimous MVP, and of course, a bunch of 3-1 comebacks late in the playoffs.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James.
But one of the most overlooked aspects that made that NBA season the greatest we've ever had was the All-Star Weekend. Maybe the last great All-Star Weekend we've truly had. The 2016 All-Star Game was already going to be a special event, being that this was going to be Kobe Bryant's final appearance, right? But we weren't prepared for what happened throughout the events of the weekend. The excitement of the weekend kicked off with one of the most anticipated celebrity All-Star games in NBA history. Kevin Hart, fresh off of back-to-back All-Star Game MVPs, would try his luck as head coach of the game, facing off against Drizzy himself in his hometown for coaching Team Canada. This game had a total of 6 former professional basketball players, with the likes of Tracy McGrady, Chauncey Billups, and Muggsy Bogues suiting up on opposite sides.
I'm not out here to play games. You hear me? If you play games, you won't play my game.
Now, Team Canada would ultimately come out on top, defending their home turf, but that was truly just the beginning of the excitement of the weekend. The three-point contest that season featured both the Splash Brothers in a much-anticipated rematch from the year prior. Steph took home the hardware that time. And not to be overlooked, other sharpshooters like James Harden, J.J. Redick, and a young Devin Booker would also participate in this event. Truly loaded. Now, the final, of course, came down to a shootout between Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, and what we all wanted to see. Klay ended up beating Steph, getting his revenge on the final rack, where he went 5 for 5 to beat his MVP teammate.
He's good now. He's got to make 3. He's around. 4. He's around. I told y'all. He's got to make this one. He won it. He won it. Told y'all. He won it. He won it. He won it. He won it. He won it.
At his own game, kind of sparking the debate of who the best shooter in the league is. I mean, we all know Steph, but still, Klay had his moment. And I honestly couldn't have asked for a more entertaining three-point contest myself. Now, we all know that the true highlight of All-Star Weekend is typically the dunk contest. Now, at least it should be that way. The dunk contest up until that point, and ever since really, has hit a bit of a lull. You know, the one that was actually memorable before this moment was when Nate Robinson jumped over Dwight Howard in 2009. You know, put on the kryptonite uniform, all that. But since then, participants were winning the dunk contest more based off of brand promotion rather than actually performing a great dunk. I'm looking at you, Blake Griffin, when you jumped over the car.
Blake, do you believe you can do this? Blake, do you believe you can do this? You got to believe. Sometimes it's real.
I wonder how much you got paid to do that. Anyway, a year prior to this 2016 dunk contest, Zach LaVine sparked hope for fans everywhere when he had kind of his coming out party. Nobody really knew who LaVine was. He was on the Minnesota Timberwolves. And in 2015, the year prior, he put on a slamathon that displayed his full package, right? He put on the Toon Squad jersey, did that behind the back kind of, I don't even know how he did that.
I was going to give this kid Bruin love. This is special right here.
Yeah, this is special.
This is special.
Go get it. Go get it. Go get it, young
Man, look at his head.
Go
Look at his head. Look at his head. His head almost hit the rim.
But ever since then, he announced that he was going to return to the slam dunk contest here in 2016. So not only was the three-point contest hype because Klay and Steph were participating, The All-Star game was already going to be exciting because Kobe would take the floor for one last time. But the dunk contest finally had a dunker in that was worth watching. And to be honest, we were all excited. Now, what happened in the contest was the best in NBA history. Zach LaVine versus Aaron Gordon, a head-to-head battle for the ages. LaVine with an array of between-the-leg free throw line dunks.
I call it back. Oh, yeah, no question.
Listen.
He left his side. Let me see it again. Man. Let me see it again. Why can't there be a tie? Come on, man. That's a free throw line. Don't head. Look at his head. Between the legs, backwards, two hands. Oh, come on, man.
Yeah,
that's a 10. That's a 50, man. That's a tie, man.
Man, bring up 2 trophies.
No. Yeah. All you have to say on this, Now, it wasn't free throw line, though. That wasn't free throw line. That was a step in. That was a step in now.
Kenny, 1 step in. Are you serious?
And, of course, Aaron Gordon clearing the mascot.
That made me take the headset off. Come on, man. Time to go home, man. Oh, my God.
Let's go home.
Yeah.
Let's go home. Let's go home. Let's go home. Let's go home. We're getting out of here. Take your jackets off. Let's go home. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
One of the best contests we've ever watched. LaVine came out on top, but not without its controversy. And we honestly couldn't have asked for a better highlight to All-Star Weekend. Now, the All-Star Game itself was much like modern-day All-Star Games, not too notable. However, we did get to see the iconic shot of Kobe Bryant calling LeBron James ISO one-on-one, and Drizzy just had to step in the frame.
Obviously has played for Coach K and Team USA, slapping the floor here against the Mamba.
All in all, the 2016 All-Star Weekend was one of the greatest All-Star weekends in NBA history, and the NBA has failed to live up to it ever since.
That was easily one of the best All-Star weekends, and I love that you brought up that picture of LeBron and Kobe, and then you got Drake in the background.
Yeah, had to.
Well, I mean,
it.
it's actually really in the front, but he's not the focus on the picture, standing up, yelling at them. So you got that picture, but it's kind of become a very iconic picture.
Yeah, all in all, that was the entire weekend was hype. That's the issue, is every single event, whether it was the Celebrity All-Star Game, having Kevin Hart and Drizzy at the peak of their fame, really.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of promoting that. You had Steph and Clay, the 2 best shooters in the NBA, going head-to-head in a three-point contest. You had Zach LaVine, fresh off of one of the best performances ever in 2015, looking to defend his throne. And then Aaron Gordon went head-to-head against him. There was a bunch of controversy of whether or not LaVine should have won that, even though he did it between the legs from the free throw line. I mean, and then, of course, the All-Star Game had Kobe Bryant, his last All-Star game in his career. You know, everything was memorable about this weekend. There was not a single lull, and everyone actually cared. And that's the issue. Nowadays, nobody cares. And we haven't cared ever since. So it's unfortunate.
I think it also helps a lot that you have big names and stars doing all of the events, right? When you have a couple of G League guys doing an event, even if they're good at what they do, since it is the NBA, most people don't really care as much as they do when they have that star power, right? So the fact that you have a Zach LaVine, who is a superstar at the dunk contest, a rising player in his own, Aaron Gordon, another young rising guy, kind of showed up and did his thing. Like, everyone got excited. It went to a dunk off, and they were just going off the top of their head with stuff they hadn't even planned. I think that was a big thing about that contest too, is they were just being creative on the fly and just doing whatever happened in that moment.
Now, that was the best dunk contest ever. I don't care if you're an old head listening to this, talking about MJ and Wilkins and all those old dunk contests. They were pulling stuff out that professional dunkers practice, right? And that's the thing. We were spoiled, and that's what we're going to expect from here on out, because every time you see a dunk performed previously, you need to add some sort of flavor in order to get the same result, right? If LaVine just dunked it from the free throw line like Jordan, he wouldn't have won that contest. But the game-winning dunk was a between the legs from the free throw line. Right? The fact that they had to go to a dunk off, Aaron Gordon probably having the best dunk in contest history and not even winning, jumping over the mascot, which was also on one of those, I can't even remember the name, the hoverboard.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
spinning. The mascot was spinning with the ball in his hand like this. Gordon cleared him. His entire butt was above his head. Snatched it, ball underneath. So not only was he over the mascot, but the ball also had to go underneath his butt and then cocked that and banged it. So not only did we have the best dunk contest, we had the most hype celebrity all-star game. I know not a lot of people care about that, but hey, it's an event for a reason. And then you had the Splash Brothers go head-to-head in the finals of a three-point contest. I mean, what could you have asked for more out of the all-star events? I mean, truly iconic. And unfortunately, we don't have that kind of desire to make the events special anymore on part of the players, because everyone showed out for this. And maybe Kobe had something to do with it. Who knows? But it truly was special.